At school, I stuck out. I was one of the few brown kids on campus. Both of my parents worked full time. We didn't spend money on tutors when I got a poor test score. I'd never owned a pair of Lululemon leggings, and my mom was not versed in the art of Zumba, jazzercise, or goat yoga. At school, I was a blade of green grass in a California lawn, but at daycare, I blended in. So once again, see some really nice imagery here, right? This paragraph ends with a very strong image. She compares herself to a blade of green grass in a California lawn. This is something that I think people from California would be well aware of. People here in Vancouver would be well aware of as well, right? This idea that people's lawns tend to be fully parched, right, and brown during the summer. And so here she uses this image to try to paint this picture of how, yeah, like she felt out of place. She stuck out, right? Stated very abruptly and sharply at the start of this second paragraph. And then, of course, she doesn't just stick to these general statements here. She also supports the fact that she was different, that her family was not as privileged as her classmates, with these specific concrete details, right? They couldn't afford tutors, couldn't afford certain kinds of clothing. And I like this sequence of these three activities here. Her mom, she says, was not versed in the art of Zumba, jazzercise, or goat yoga. I think these are examples of, again, privileged activities that only, let's say, stay-at-home moms who can afford these activities, right, can afford to do. And I like how she uses a bit of humor here. I think goat yoga, right, makes you laugh a little bit. And I think it's also strong because it's not really mean-spirited, right? At no point did she say, well, I'm resentful of these other families who can afford to do these things. She's simply pointing out that they didn't do these things, right? And she kind of has a chuckle at this and she moves on.